Welcome to Game News for October 18, 2013, where we're going to wrestle this week's game news for the 3 count. We're your pile drivers on this blunderbuss. I'm King Slender, Chris the Amazon, this is Jumbo Mike Slamkovich, and this is supposed to be El Thunderbeak.
Oh, hey,
just check out these guns. I wonder how many people got those references.
I totally didn't.
So Ubisoft had a scary week as they announced the delay of 2 of their biggest upcoming titles, Watch Dogs and The Crew. They have lofty sales projections for them, and so when they saw that they were so close but not quite to the quality that they wanted, they decided to hold these games back until spring 2014, though there is some assumption that Grand Theft Auto 5's gigantic release may be partly involved in all this.
No doubt.
As a result, their shares plummeted 32%. The most since the company's creation some 17 years ago. Personally, I find this a little unfair of a reaction, as Blizzard and Valve and Nintendo do this constantly, and the shareholders are usually a little nervous but fine about it because they're used to their quality. But I guess they saw it as concern that the games may not live up to expectations and thus may not meet the sales numbers being expected, and that I can completely understand. Not at all help that the latest Splinter Cell and Rayman Legends have neither lived up to their sales of expectations at all. Zynga's Justin Waldron announced this week that he's left the company, joining the droves of CEOs and designers he's left over last year. Waldron co-founded Zynga with Mark Pincus and 6 others back in 2007, and Waldron said on his Facebook, quote, "I've decided it's time to leave Zynga and venture off on my own again. It's been 6.5 years since we pushed the button to launch our first game, and each moment since has been magic."
More Blizzard separation this week, but it looks like it'll be the last bit of news because the deal to separate Activision Blizzard from parent company Vivendi was finalized this week after a back and forth with courts and shareholders. The nearly $6 billion deal will still leave Vivendi with 12% of the stocks, while various investment partners such as CEO Bobby Kotick, Chairman Brian Kelly, and the Chinese company Tencent Holding retain 25%. The remaining and majority of the shares, of course, are held by the public.
It's finally done. They're on their own. And 2K Marin suffered massive layoffs this week as the vast majority of the team behind games like Bioshock 2 and the Bureau XCOM Declassified are no longer with 2K, and according to one source who spoke to Polygon, most of the remaining team will be heading to the brand new 2K studio ran by Rod Ferguson we spoke of before, and for some reason the news source that I got it from called it 2K Marin. I knew that wasn't right, and I still reported it that way anyway. Good for journalism error. But this is pretty much the end of the studio, so we'll play little taps here, I guess.
Most Pokemon trainers are already aware, but the brand new Pokemon X and Y seem to have a rare save-corrupting bug when saving the game in the capital Lumio City. Nintendo finally acknowledged today that the bug affects players from both North America and European markets, whether they have physical or downloadable versions. However, Reddit's Ultimate Pikachu claims it is possible to load up the corrupted file if you run the game, wait for the music to start but the screen is still black, and then mash the home button. It may take a bit, but this seems to be working for a lot of people. And of course, Nintendo says it's working on the fix.
Meanwhile, Jerry Ellsworth and Rick Johnson haven't been gone too long from Valve when they unleashed the castAR holographic projection system on Kickstarter at the start of this week, and within 48 hours surpassed the $400,000 goal, and as of this recording is inching near $500,000. It's a bit complicated to explain this, but it's basically a pair of glasses that's going to project holograms in front of it. I don't know, the best way to do this is just a link. Here's a link. Go check them out.
All right.
So what is Michael Daly doing lately? That is almost a tongue twister, I swear. The creator of the first Grand Theft Auto way back in the day, and Yo-Yo Games' current head of development, is remaking the first Grand Theft Auto using Yo-Yo's Game Maker Studio. It seems to be something of a showcase for just how powerful the Game Maker tools can still be, but it will be a long time before he's anywhere near completing the project, so don't expect any public releases anytime soon. That, and he's debating whether he's even going to add the gameplay to it or not, or just use it as a tech demo to run around the city in. And can't forget about Double Fine, as they revealed Space Base DF9 this week, a sim game all about keeping a space station afloat. It was devised out of last year's Amnesia Fortnite Game Jam. The alpha is already available through Steam Early Access for $25, and it's looking great, but I'm still looking more forward to the promising Massive Chalice. And the Finnish company Supercell, behind Clash of Clans, has sold off 51% of its shares to SoftBank and Gung Ho out of Japan for $1.5 billion this week. SoftBank being the communications and internet giant, while Gung Ho is a game developer most famous for the Ragnarok Online series, but has also bought up Grasshopper Manufacturer earlier this year, the home of Suda51 and games like No More Heroes and Lollipop Chainsaw. So all of the companies involved are excited with the plans of the joint venture and what is to come. And now on to some rapid fire! Including Flower and Flow, two of PS3's successful artsy downloadable games, will be coming to PS4 and Vita on November 29th, as well as State Plan and Sound Shapes the same month. And as a bonus, if you already own any of them for your PS3, they will be free for either of the new systems.
Blizzard revealed the MOBA, once known as Blizzard All-Stars, will be called Heroes of the Storm. There's a little cartoon trailer to go along with this announcement, and in case you're confused, as I was at first, the ninja with the skull mask is actually supposed to be Jim Raynor. But in my defense, I was watching this trailer on a cell phone screen, and I did realize who it was before the Demon Hunter actually showed up in the cartoon.
And we can't get enough Angry Birds, then how about some go-kart racing? Yeah, Angry Birds Go will be available on mobile in December. And the first real trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. People are excited. David Hayter, the voice of Solid Snake, has joined in as part of the voice cast on the indie game The Long Dark, which saw success just this week on Kickstarter, and has also opened up PayPal donations to help with the game further. Apple's plans for a monstrous campus in California nicknamed the Spaceship has been approved. Riot Games bossman Mark Merrill's Twitter account was hacked, and the hacker let loose 200 megs of pictures showing a League of Legends card game that was cancelled without announcement. And the Xbox 360's Games with Gold program has been extended to run indefinitely, so that games every month absolutely free on the 360 as long as Live still apparently runs for it. And Disney will be adding both Star Wars and James Cameron's Avatar-based features to Disney World in the next few years to coincide with both franchises' new movies. And lastly, it's a little bit of fighting game news. J-Star's Victory Versus finally has a release date in Japan of March 19th for the PS3 and Vita, though no word on a release date anywhere else, if ever, while a ton of new characters were also announced, including Vegeta, Zebra, Boa Hancock, Sasuke, and Rukia. Anybody who's into mainstream anime knows exactly who those people are, as well as Lala from To Love Ru, Kirasaki from Nisekoi, and while I'm not sure about the gameplay, I'd still like to see this come to the States. But with all of that brouhaha, that was game news for October 18th for your spooky 2013 fun. Where are you, Grover?
Come back!
It's been abducted.
Alien zombie robot.
Robot chickens.
We're strange, folks. I'm sorry.
Well, it's really not your fault.
But I guess we'll see you all on next week for some more game news.
See you next week.
Later, dudes.
That's it. I'm done.